So remember, September 22nd and September 23rd, Midtown Detroit, Dlectricity. I'm HB Meeks for TellUsDetroit.com. September 22nd and 23rd, we'll have Midtown Detroit full of lights and bikes. That's September 22nd, September 23rd, Midtown Detroit for Dlectricity 2017. Okay. We talked to Faye Nelson, Vice President at DTE Energy, and here's what she had to say. We talked to Sue Mosey, Executive Director of Midtown Detroit Incorporated, and here's what she had to say. We talked to artist Rashad Newsom, who's going to be exhibiting during the event, and here's what he had to say. Okay. After 3 long years, Midtown Detroit Inc. is presenting Dlectricity. Don't know much about Dlectricity? Well, it's happening September 22nd and 23rd in Midtown Detroit. You need more information? Listen to this. Okay, we're all set. All right, we have Sue Mosey.
Do I hand it?
No,
okay, you'll take it.
Okay. We have Sue Mosey, Executive Director of Midtown Detroit Incorporated. And can you tell us a little bit about what's going on with Dlectricity this year?
Yeah, so this will be our 3rd edition, and it's going to be September 22nd, 23rd. And once again, like our previous ones, obviously it's in the evening. We have kickoff activities on both nights. The first night will be a really great sort of procession with our signature artists that we've invited in to do some very interesting work this year, Rashad Newsom. And then on Saturday night will be our very large-scale nighttime bike parade, which hopefully we'll have over 5,000 bicyclists participating with all bikes lit up through the whole neighborhood. So those are 2 of our signature pieces. And of course, all of the other 35 visual art displays and big video mapping projects will be on display throughout the entire neighborhood.
This seems like a very big project. How long does it take you to pull something like this together?
Well, really, the team works on it for an entire year. It takes, since this is only our 3rd one, and this one is a very site-specific type project where you have to really match the art installation with the right location, so it takes a bit of time to actually, for our curatorial committee, to sort of match all that up with the artist. And then there's a lot of projections involved, a lot of technology involved to pull it off, so it is a big undertaking, but it's worth it. We feel like it's really a home run with the people who come. People get very energized by seeing all of these great buildings we have in Midtown kind of in a new light at night, experience some very high quality art.
Now, the last edition was just an overwhelming success from the participants' standpoint, from the community standpoint. It was just knockout, flat down knockout. What do you expect it to be this year? Bigger, better?
Yeah, I mean, I expect probably more participants for both of those really interesting kickoff events on both nights. Hopefully they'll attract a lot more people and there'll just be more people on the streets walking around, enjoying themselves. I feel the quality of the work and sort of the diversity of what we're offering this year in the installations should bring more people because there's so many different aspects of Detroit's history, of really topical issues around media, a lot around Detroit's native plants and animals. I mean, there's just a lot of really interesting themes that this group of artists is exploring with their work.
Okay, last question. I'm going to let you go because I know you're busy. I know you're running. We really enjoyed it 3 years ago. We're glad that it's back now. Will we have to wait 3 more years for it to come again?
Well, our original goal was to do this every 2 years. We postponed this a year because of the M1 rail construction, which we're glad because we see that now as a really added value transit option for people to get here from downtown or up in the News Center area. We also have the MoGo bikes now, so we think a lot of people just hop on those. So it's a better time in Detroit today to host this, I think, given our infrastructure. We also are having protected bike lanes all along Cass put in. They'll be done by Dlectricity as well. So it'll be an improved infrastructure that we're offering here, and we'll just have to see how it goes. Clearly, this is not an inexpensive event amount. So we will have to rely on more individual donors, more corporations, and more philanthropy, quite frankly, to be able to continue to mount this scale event.
Very good. Well, I got to let you know, tellusdetroit.com is all in.
All right, great.
Well,
thank you so much.
All the way to promote this.
I really appreciate it.
Remarkable event.
Well, good. Then I'll see you there.
So we'll ask you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, have a good one.
Okay. Look here.
You gave me that runaway answer.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the sponsor.
Well, it does.
It does. But, the one at the relationship will be a breeze.
Oh, we hope.
Okay, we're all set. All right, we have Sue Mosey.
Do I hand it?
No,
okay,
no.
you'll take it.
Okay. We have Sue Mosey, Executive Director of Midtown Detroit Incorporated. And can you tell us a little bit about what's going on with Dlectricity this year?
Yeah, so this will be our third edition, and it's going to be September 22nd, 23rd. And once again, like our previous ones, obviously it's in the evening. We have kickoff activities on both nights. The first night will be a really great sort of procession with our signature artists that we've invited in to do some very interesting work this year, Rasad Newsom. And then on Saturday night will be our very large-scale nighttime bike parade, which hopefully we'll have over 5,000 bicyclists participating with all bikes lit up through the whole neighborhood. So those are two of our signature pieces. And of course, all of the other 35 visual art displays and big video mapping projects will be on display throughout the entire neighborhood.
This seems like a very big project. How long does it take you to pull something like this together?
Well, really, the team works on it for an entire year. It takes, since this is only our third one, and this one is a very site-specific type project where you have to really match the art installation with the right location. So it takes a bit of time to actually, for our curatorial committee, to sort of match all that up with the artist. And then there's a lot of projections involved, a lot of technology involved to pull it off. So it is a big undertaking, but it's worth it. We feel like it's really a home run with the people who come. People get very energized by seeing all of these great buildings we have in Midtown kind of in a new light at night, experiencing some very high quality art.
Now, the last edition was just an overwhelming success from the participants' standpoint, from the community standpoint. It was just knockout, flat down knockout. What do you expect it to be this year? Bigger, better?
Yeah, I mean, I expect probably more participants for both of those really interesting kickoff events on both nights. Hopefully they'll attract a lot more people and there'll just be more people on the streets walking around, enjoying themselves. I feel the quality of the work and sort of the diversity of what we're offering this year in the installations should bring more people because there's so many different aspects of Detroit's history, of really topical issues around media, a lot around Detroit's native plants and animals. I mean, there's just a lot of really interesting themes that this group of artists is exploring with their work.
Okay, last question. I'm going to let you go because I know you're busy. I know you're running. We really enjoyed it 3 years ago. We're glad that it's back now. Will we have to wait 3 more years for it to come again?
Well, our original goal was to do this every 2 years. We postponed this a year because of the M1 rail construction, which we're glad because we see that now as a really added value transit option for people to get here from downtown or up in the News Center area. We also have the Mogo bikes now, so we think a lot of people just hop on those. So it's a better time in Detroit today to host this, I think, given our infrastructure. We also are having protected bike lanes all along Cass put in. They'll be done by Dlectricity as well. So it'll be an improved infrastructure that we're offering here, and we'll just have to see how it goes. Clearly, this is not an inexpensive event to mount. So we will have to rely on more individual donors, more corporations, and more philanthropy, quite frankly, to be able to continue to mount this scale event.
Very good. Well, I got to let you know, tellusdetroit.com is all in.
All right, great.
We're
well,
gonna
thank
help
you so much.
All the way to promote this.
I really
because we think
appreciate
it's a
it.
Remarkable event.
Well, good. Then I'll see you there.
So we didn't ask you.
Thank you,
All right,
guys.
have a good one.
Well, I know it's Grammar, but I could not remember the other street.
Yeah, so the major milestone is Cass there.
Okay, Cass and
Grand River, so right across from the GAR and in between that and the DTE headquarters.
okay, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
All right, you guys are going to have concerts here. You're going to have various activities and what have you. Where will people park?
So for this weekend, we are working with the Illich lots. So we've secured 3 lots all around Cass Avenue. So there will be a daily rate of $5. There's also street parking, and MGM is not quite far away around the block. So people can park there as well.
So they will be able to park their cars and attend the activities.
Oh,
here.
absolutely.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you
good.
so much.
Thank you.
Now, did they send that? Look, you are a major sponsor for this event again.
Yes.
You know, Dlectricity, that goes with DTE Energy.
Well, if you think about what organization would be better to support such an event, of course it would be DTE Energy Foundation. So yeah,
Of
we're real
course.
pleased to come back again as presenting sponsors.
And what can we expect?
Well, the presentation that we just received, I think, provides a wonderful framework for the excitement that I believe Dlectricity and the presentation of the visual arts will provide the community. So, we think it's valuable. We think it's important to be able to share this type of art to the community, and so we're just excited to be part of the supporters of Dlectricity.
Fantastic. Now, I understand you're doing something else for the community.
A little bit,
Real soon.
little thing called Beacon Park. We're excited.
Tell us a little bit about
Well,
it.
Beacon Park is formally opening on Thursday of this week, and it's going to be a 4-day celebration as we introduce the park to the community. So, just a variety of wonderful activities that are family friendly and just community friendly as well. So from games to concerts to art, you name it, it's going to be at a Beacon Park. So we're excited, and
No, wait a minute. Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah.
Never heard of Beacon Park. Where is it?
well, Beacon Park is located just adjacent to the DTE Energy headquarters right here in Detroit. So it's new, and we just recently introduced the park's name, Beacon Park. So it's just going to be amazing. You'll just have to come on over. I can't even begin to share with you the excitement of what I think this park will provide the community, not only from an event standpoint, but a wonderful place and space to connect, to relax, to chill, to enjoy, and also it serves, I think, as importantly as an economic catalyst as we continue to develop key spaces and places here in Detroit.
Okay, now and you mentioned it's right adjacent to DTE headquarters.
Right.
What streets are those?
That would be Grand River.
Okay.
Yes.
And
So I've got my trusty, dusty assistant here. Come on over.
So it's at Grand River and Cass Avenue, so
Grand
it's
River and Cass
adjacent
Avenue.
right there, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Grand River and Cass.
We got it.
How did you come up with Beacon?
Well, Beacon Park is a wonderful way, I think, to share or to message who we are as an energy company. So if you think about light and hope, we just felt that Beacon Park was just a wonderful way to connect with in terms of who we are with the community.
Great name.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
man.
you.
All right, we'll see you soon over
Okay.
at Beacon Park.
Sounds great.
And thank you.
so much.
And what's your name?
I'm Ann Odell.
Phils, everyone knows Al. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good, good. Hey Al, tell us about the Parade of Bikes.
Okay, the Bike Light Parade is a part of the Dlectricity that's community-based. We're trying to get the community involved in their own art display. So what we want to do is have the Bike Light Parade bring everyone out with their bikes decorated, their helmets decorated, families, friends, everyone, to become part of an art installation on wheels.
Now, do you have to be a professional biker? I mean, you really do a lot of biking in order to participate?
No, this is a nice slow ride. This is basically an installation of art that we're trying to roll slowly through the whole community of Midtown and end up in the middle of the Dlectricity activities.
Okay, now, you say decorate the bikes. What do you mean by that?
Well, decorating bikes is a tradition in Detroit. It allows you to take battery-operated LEDs or lights and attach them to your bike and your helmet and brighten them up. It's a nice safety feature if done correctly, but it's a great way to showcase the artistic approach to bike riding.
Okay, now, how many people did you have the last time you did the parade?
Last time we had over 2,000 people. We're expecting at least 4,000, if not more.
Okay, are you ready?
We're ready.
Okay, okay. I gotta tell you, in full disclosure, I was a part of that parade last time you had it. Fantastic.
Oh, it was a lot of fun last
Lots of
time. Midtown Detroit Inc. provides some decorations, so if you aren't fully decorated already, we'll give you something so you can be part of the whole art display.
Great. Thank you, Al.
My
All
pleasure.
righty.
Look forward to it.
All righty. Now, hold it, Dennis. Okay, Rashad Newsom. Got it. All right, please. All right.
You come back around this way.
Okay. All right. We're here with Rashad Newsom, and where are you from?
New Orleans, Louisiana originally, but I live in New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did you wind up here in Detroit?
Well, I was invited by my PNC, Andrea Frazier. I'm sorry. Can we start over?
No.
Okay.
No
Okay.
problem.
I said Andrea
We
Frazier.
edit.
Wait, what?
I said I was invited by my PNC, Andrea Frazier. I was saying Andrea. Sorry. Can we start over?
Yeah.
Okay, I was invited by my
Well, why are you
PNC,
here?
Andrea
Get it right
Glemsher.
this time.
Yeah, and then also, yeah, sorry. I see we both miss. I was invited by my PNC, Andrea Glemsher, but then also downtown Detroit, Midtown Detroit, and the curatorial folks at Dlectricity.
Okay.
So,
And what are your plans for Dlectricity this year?
yeah, so I'll be doing 3 projects. One is a video that's been commissioned for the Great Hall. The second is a mass processional performance that will take over downtown Detroit, and a stage performance that will take place at the DIA.
Okay.
Yeah.
And lastly, how do you feel about being here?
I'm super excited. I'm just so happy to be here. I think that what they're doing here is so cool. I think that the city needs it, and I'm just really excited to be a part of it. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All righty.
All right.
Cool. No, we'll handle that.
Yeah,
No,
the editing.
no,
How'd you-
Your team, Mark, the committee, the artists, we're just excited to be here, and again, we just can't wait. So thank you so much. Sponsorship was enough for us, and I think based upon all of what you've seen today, the excitement and all of the fine work that I know that has taken place over the many months to bring to our community an excitement
Hi, can you hear me? Okay. So my project for DL3 is called Reenactor. It's a 3.5-hour film on a loop. Each time the film is shown, we have to build a theater for it. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to do it outdoors, because we've never done that. I guess I could tell you what the film is about, but I guess it's a lot about living in the darkness, finding value in the darkness, finding value in your history, especially that part of your history that you don't want to think much about, the part of your history that bugs you, that gets under your skin. In this case, this film was made 95% in Nashville, Tennessee. Most people know Nashville for their music, maybe for their food, but of course, you know, Nashville is in the South, and as being in the South, and it's a very old town, there's a lot of, how would you say, ghosts, hauntings. And what I did is I've been trying to make this film for about 3 years. It took me about 5 years to edit it. You'll be able to judge whether taking that long was worth it. But part of getting it made was I had to get someone to agree to wear Confederate uniforms and to walk around in the daytime in the South. And so it took a while. I'll just leave it right there.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you to Dlectricity, and thank you to Downtown Detroit and the curatorial committee for having me out. And so, yeah, I just can't tell you how excited I am about being a part of this project. You know, I think what you're doing here is just so cool, and the fact that you've given me the space to do all these projects is just really extraordinary.
You're okay.
Oh, okay.
We're just doing our behind the scenes.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you know, there's a couple of things that we're going to do. One is I've been commissioned to do a video that's going to activate the Great Hall of the DIA, which will sort of act as the backdrop for the procession we'll be doing on the 22nd, but the video will also be on view a bit longer than that, so people can go and see that. And it's really going to be just sort of abstracting the current architecture of the space. But the parade, which I'm incredibly excited about, you know, this project has been just like so amazing to create, because when I was invited, you know, I have my partners from here, I have family here, and so to have the opportunity to work here was just really great. And from the onset, just tons of resources have presented themselves to help make this project even more extraordinary than, you know, I had envisioned it to be. And so, yeah, as Olivia mentioned, we're gonna, you know, one of my goals was that I really did not want this to be tone deaf. I wanted it to be quintessentially Detroit, which is a huge part of this procession project. It's always site specific, and so I really kind of like was thinking about a lot of communities here that I could engage, and so we're gonna have folks from the Ruth Ellis Foundation, local Vogue community. There will be also elements of previous processions, so I'm bringing in some Miami Bike Life guys who are, you know, young guys who are pretty much self-trained stuntmen using ATVs and dirt bikes. We're gonna have Cass Tech, marching band, Gabriel Brass Band, to me, which is really extraordinary because they sort of are, you know, they represent like that connection of Louisiana and Detroit because they're both from there. And you know, every parade needs a float. And so in my previous parades, I've used a car that I did in New York, which was a Lamborghini Murcielago. But for this parade, we're gonna do a Ford. And we're gonna, you know, we're gonna wrap this Ford F-150 and just completely kind of, you know, trick it out. And so I'm looking forward to that as well. And then also, you know, it's open to everybody. A big part of, you know, this project was, you know, it came from me thinking about, you know, a performance practice that's really specific to, you know, how I came up. You know, I'm from New Orleans, which is the, you know, the birthplace of Mardi Gras and Second Lines and Super Sundays. And it's also a way for me to engage certain social practice aspects of my work in a really meaningful way.
Of the underground, and especially in relationship to Detroit. Jake Chiduster and Allison Malik of Corktown Studios bring us the expanded, presenting the Shadow Puppet Circus slideshow. This is going to be a really fun place where you can go stick your head through a cutout, you can get a projection put up that you choose put up of kind of
our 2017 Dlectricity artists.
Hello everyone, thanks for coming today, and we're really excited to finally get to tell you who you're going to see at Dlectricity this fall. So just to keep things moving, I'm going to dive right in with our headlining artist, Rashad Newsom. We were lucky to receive a night grant to bring Rashad here to Detroit to present two really fascinating and multi-interaction type projects with us that are going to incorporate a lot of local performers as well as Rashad's amazing ideas, starting with shade composition. Actually, let's start with King of Arts Parade, because King of Arts Parade is going to launch our September 22nd evening at 7 p.m. Around the DIA, you're going to see a really amazing procession of a vehicle wrapped in Rashad's custom designed graphics. You're going to see the Cass TAC Marching Band, the Gabriel Brass Band, local performers, voguers coming in, stunt drivers. It's going to be a New Orleans-style parade procession that takes place all around the campus of the DIA, so don't miss that. And then on Saturday night, inside the DFT, Detroit Film Theater, Rashad will be conducting a shade composition created specifically for Detroit. It's the latest iteration of this ongoing performance piece that's cast with local African American women, and it's a really unique sound composition with a great visual element. Brings in a lot of local performers, so we're so grateful to have him here. We'll bring him up in a second to say something about that.
We have enlisted to sort of take on the coordination along with Wayne State Police and others on trying to mount this light bike parade once again on the Saturday evening of the event. I think the first year we had about 3,500 bikes participate, so this is not a small ride. This year we're hoping we can really ramp that up to probably over 5,000. And Al is going to tell you a little bit about what's planned this year. I know we have some route changes and some things like that. So Al, you want to come up?
All right, I'm not going to wear it. But the Light Bike Parade was in 2014. We had a really good turnout on what the parade was. And this year we expect, as Sue said, even more. But what we want to do differently is really to emphasize the art and the light side of this. With this year's ride, and that's what I want to impress on everyone, it's just a small ride throughout Midtown. We want to impress on people to decorate their bikes early, decorate their helmets, because we have some great prizes for everyone. This is a small, slow roll-like ride throughout downtown where we want to showcase an art installation of bike riders, where we want to slowly go throughout the neighborhood of Midtown, engage the community, engage the people riding, and have a good time while we make our way through Midtown, back and forth across Woodward, and end up right in the heart of the Dlectricity exhibitions. So the Bike Light Parade is really one of those art installations on wheels. And we want everyone to register. I think we're going to show the registration opportunities real soon, so we get a better count, because we are going to provide some decorations, some lights for the riders this year. So we want to get a good feel for how many people are going to be there, as well as the Wayne State Police units would love to know how many people we're going to have come on this ride. So hopefully everyone here is a bike rider. Hope everyone has seen that Detroit is turning into a great bike city, where we have all kinds of great opportunities for protected bike lanes within Midtown as well. So enjoy the rest of the show, but on Saturday night, be prepared to ride along with us in the Light Bike Parade.
So we're getting kind of to the fun part here where we get to introduce and announce all of our artists that we have selected for this year. But before we get to that, there's a really important thing that we need to say. And it's thank you to all of our partnering venues who are hosting art installations at Dlectricity. This event would not happen without a lot of our venues giving up lights being on their campuses during the festival, opening up their spaces to the public to use their bathrooms, being really willing partners to sometimes invite projects that they normally wouldn't do. And so with that, I'd like to thank the College for Creative Studies, the Michigan Science Center, the Wright Museum.
Talk a little bit about everything that's exciting that's going to happen over the 2 days. So, Mark.
My mother and father don't speak that well about me, and they're my biggest fans. Thank you, welcome. Whoops, let me see if I can get this in the right place. How's that? Welcome, thank you on behalf of Sue Mosey. I want to thank all of you for coming here today. We're really thrilled, and we look forward over the next few minutes to formally presenting our sponsors, to reviewing the footprint, and having two of our marquee artists talk to us. I'd like to just take a minute to go back about 11 years when visual arts in Detroit were at a very different point. 11 of us actually came together in 2006 and started talking about Detroit and trying to think about ways of increasing awareness of the great art and artists we have in our city. They were George Nanamdi, Michelle Perrin, and Marcia Myro, the co-founders of Dlectricity, as well as representatives from Cranbrook, Oakland, the DIA, Wayne State University. We branded the name Art Detroit Now. We did some modest marketing and event promotion. We did come up with the Art Detroit Now newsletter, which remains the definitive source for information on art gallery openings, exhibitions, and special events in the city. But we wanted to do something bigger. And we kept meeting and talking, and 4 years later, this idea resonated of using lights as a source of a symbolic and practical change in Detroit. We knew there was only one way to make that happen, and we immediately set up a meeting with Sue Mosey. And Sue said that, in fact, she'd been thinking about this much longer than we had, and that became the impetus for us immediately moving forward. We established a curatorial committee. We agreed to work together to raise the money, and Sue assigned Anne Marie, who is on our right, and to lead this project. We quickly found Olivia Zivich, who's right next to me, to be our curatorial manager. And this team, along with Larry Baranski from the DIA, have been working together for the last 8 years very, very diligently. So our first Dlectricity was in October 2012, and that Friday night we battled every element. There was rain, there was sleet, there was a little bit of snow, there were 30-mile-an-hour winds that knocked over several of our displays, but the buzz was incredible, and somehow, some way, 75,000 people came out the next night to really, most of them experiencing Detroit at night outside for the first time. We decided to do it again, and we came back in September 2012 instead of October, 2014 instead of October, because we consulted the Farmer's Almanac, and it said that the weather would be much better. In fact, the weather was perfect, but our footprint was under siege as a result of the queue line. Then again, somehow 150,000 people figured out how to park, walk, and enjoy really an incredible, I think I'm moving the slides. Moving in
Technical difficulties, folks.
Am I?
Sorry, not sure.
So we're involved in Dlectricity. We're very excited about it. And in the coming weeks, we're going to start seeing a big change on our facade. We're going to be painting the mural by Andrew Quo and Sanford Biggers over with black paint, and then we're going to reinstall a Martin Creed neon piece. It's going to say everything's going to be all right in white neon letters. It's going to look very familiar because 10 years ago in 2006, we put that piece up in part of an exhibition called Words Fail Me. And so we're going to bring that back for our 10th year anniversary, and that will get reinstalled in time for Dlectricity. So we're really excited. We had great support about that, and it'll be good to see that piece. It's very reassuring to see that piece come back. And then we have another piece happening. We're very excited to launch our Youth Earn a Bike program. Everyone knows that there's a light, bright bike parade that happens to kick off the parade. Our team council came to us and said, hey, we really want to do this. And so with Cam and the help of our youth program producers, who's right over there, we're going to launch a bike earn a program. And so we'll work with Back Alley Bikes in the hub of Detroit, and kids can earn a bike. They get a full bike, instructions, safety, lock, helmet, backpack, and then they'll come back to MoCAD on the 16th and fully decorate it with all the lights, and then they'll take part in the parade. So we're really excited about that. Bikes are freedom. We think that kids are going to use these bikes after the